Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I have a bunch of varying gameplay for you guys. Some Boomkin, some Rogue, and some Mage. Gonna hop all around. But first, a couple of the comments were saying I need a haircut. Do you guys think I need a haircut? Yes or no? Down below in the comments. If you guys do think I need a haircut, I guess I should probably get a haircut. It's about that time. Or I should keep growing out. Let me know. But anyway, Black or Cold Arena here on Control V once again. Playing with Schwapx and Ron Paul, playing some Boomkin, Rogue, Holy Paladin. Holy Pally is playing Repentance. And we played a couple of games yesterday. Control V is still learning. Guys, if you haven't seen me play Boomkin before, I just hit 110. I almost have all my honor talents unlocked. I still have some heirloom gear, still gearing. Still learning my keybinds, okay? So don't go too hard on me. Definitely learning the class. But right away, trying to get out the Moonfire and the Sunfire. I got out that new moon, so that's good. And one of my criticisms of my last gameplay on my Moonkin was that I wasn't getting my moons off enough. Here, I still have 3 stacks, so probably not the greatest, but there is a lot going on, and Cyclones might even take priority over getting that new moon off. Getting that Solar Wrath out, probably, like, instead of casting that Wrath, it would have been better to cast that Half Moon. And they're both line of sighting me right now. A little unfortunate. Once again, Wrathing on the pet, not very good. Control V, I don't know what you're doing there. But we finally push into the room with a full blind sap onto the priest, into that full Hajj. We get the pain suppression on the paladin and the bubble and the hunter's heal. So we're getting a lot of defensive cooldowns from this team. They go on to me now. The pressure's turning on a little bit with that true shot with the wings. So I go bear form, pop my skin, pop my heals, make sure I'm okay. My paladin buffs me as well. Clone the paladin a little bit low. Don't mind this clone at all. I'm switching my focus around a little bit here. Cloning the paladin once more. The repentance onto the hunter, into the clone. Tried to switch the clone to the priest, but I did get kicked there. Paladin taking a lot of pressure though. I get feared. I get stunned. I get silenced a ton of just CC coming out onto me. Once again, haven't really been getting my moons off, and I have Root Beam available. So right here, I casted the clone on the priest. I could have just Root Beam to not risk anything. They don't have kicks though. Since they don't have kicks and they use a lot of stops, I guess I don't mind. Get that full clone onto the priest. I can follow the full clone with a Root Beam, and I have that full moon available for anytime I want to try to get that off. So get the full clone into the half clone, Solar Wrath. So I'm just wrathing. Now that I'm watching my gameplay back, I'm just wrathing too much, right? I have Star Searches. I have moons available, and I have clones available as well. I have targets I can cyclone. They should really all take priority over Wrath. So just wrathing too much, definitely am going to note that next time I play my Boomkin. The freedom comes out onto that Root Beam, little unfortunate there. So, but Priest gets full repented there on that freedom, and Pally's getting very low. I'm spamming damage through the bop. My Rogue is spamming Gloomblade through the bop, and the Pally does go down. So, nice game there. What we learned from that is wrathing way too much, not getting my moons off enough. I didn't get a full moon off the whole game, I don't think, or maybe one. Definitely need to work on that, and that should increase my damage a little bit. My damage wasn't too low, but I can definitely increase my damage even more by doing that. Alright, so hopping into another game of Boomkin here, then we're going to hop into some Mage gameplay, some Rogue gameplay. Going to give you guys pretty much everything that I was playing on the stream last night, give you all the highlights. But starting stealth here, I have Incarnation available. Obviously, game just started, and I have pretty much every offensive cooldown. So I'm building up my damage a little bit. I get that new moon off, so thumbs up there. Have that Root Beam available. Start off with the Root Beam, but he does get that freedom. Little unfortunate. The Paladin wasn't stunned, wasn't cross CC'd, so he did get that freedom on the Root Beam. So I should have either held my Root Beam for that Paladin to be stunned, or my Rogue should have stunned that Paladin so he couldn't have freedom that Root Beam, or at least had to trinket to freedom it. So that's kind of the mistake there, but that's okay. They're doing a lot of damage onto my Paladin right away. But I guess I failed to mention before this any of this even starts, the Hunter trinketed, human trinketed rather, and he doesn't have trinket for 12 more seconds. And just like when we're playing RMP, or just like when we're playing any composition where you have a ton of burst, we can kill the Hunter in a kidney bomb. He has no trinket. The Pally isn't going to be able to sank him. I think he already sank on the priest, and the priest won't be able to heal him because he's in the bomb. So we got that kidney bomb off, casting that full moon. The full moon does land, and then boom, Hunter is deleted. So these are the type of setups we have to focus on more. Just once again, we called out this swap like right about here. We're like, okay, Hunter in a bomb off DR, make it clean. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm making sure I have that full moon available, so I get that half moon. And I'm like, all right, let's do it right now. Start casting the full moon right as that kidney lands. Full moon lands, boom, Hunter goes down, that's clean. This was a much better game. Getting my moons off, spreading the pressure. Still a little bit mistake on that freedom on the root beam, but you know, that kind of stuff does happen. And another win against this Ret marksmanship and a disc priest. This is one of the teams we were beating. Control V needs a lot of work though, so we were taking a lot of L's yesterday, but I do plan to continue improving my gameplay. All right, and just because I haven't posted it in very long, here is some double rogue gameplay that Rodak and I were playing last night, and this is a Blade's Edge Arena versus Mistweaver and a DK, Frost DK. This is a pretty difficult matchup. We can win. Like, there's harder matchups for sure. Demon Hunters with the eye, very difficult. Paladins or humans with 2 trinkets, very, very difficult. So this is hard, but it's not the hardest thing we could fight. So I think what we're going to do here is, well, we could do one of 2 things. We could either sap the monk and do a long go onto the DK, and a long go just means, you know, sap the monk, full half quarter with that full blind, half blind, just keep killing the DK until we have no more outs than Cloak Vanish, or we could do the same thing but go onto the monk. We don't really know if this guy's way of the crane. I don't think he is, so we could do the same thing on the monk, but then if he just like jumps down and then ports up, it's really hard to actually chase him, and it just doesn't seem like we'd get as many cooldowns. So we're probably just talking about all the stuff I'm talking to you guys about in the call right now. That's why we're delaying this opener, and I didn't want to get knocked out, so I just jump off here. Full sap comes out onto the monk, and the monk can't really trinket the sap, because if he trinkets the sap, he's gonna get full blinded. If he doesn't trinket the sap, he can save his trinket for the full blind. So this monk's just like, all right, I'm going to trinket blind, and he kind of already made that up in his mind, and we know that. So we're like, this is our time to just rail this DK, because the monk isn't going to trinket until we press blind onto him. I have Dance, Coldblood, Gormaz, Symbols, and he did pop Icebound Fortitude. We're both going to pop our evasion, pop every offensive cooldown. We resap the monk, and it's so unfortunate at this point in time that we're both evasion. DK can't hit us to really heal off of us. The sap is out on the Mistweaver. If he trinkets the half sap at this point, we full blind him. So it's over if he trinkets. If he doesn't trinket, we still have that quarter sap into the full blind, into the half blind. So at this point, it's pretty much over, right? That there's nothing this monk can do to really to save his DK. Comes out, boom, we Blood Elf silence him. The monk held his trinket because he was like, oh, I had to save the trinket for the blind. A little unfortunate there. I guess right away, if he wants to instantly trinket sap and then cocoon his partner, he could. It would make him survive, but then we would both vanish out. So I guess this is a matchup that is very winnable for us. What they could do is just, if they just survived our go, maybe spread apart so it was harder to sap and open, maybe make some distance. If they can just survive 1 or 2 goes, and then we don't have Cloak of Shadows, then we're just dead to the DK. So there's a turning point there. A difficult matchup for them. Difficult matchup for us sometimes, but we did manage to take the win against these guys. All right, guys, and finally, here is a game of RMP. Like I said, we're jumping all around today between the Mage, the Rogue, the Boomkin. Actually, didn't play my Priest yesterday, but I've been playing Mage, Rogue, Boomkin, and Shadow Priest, a little bit of Disc Priest, Holy Priest as well. Playing a lot of different classes right now, so I hope you guys are enjoying all of the variety recently. But right away, this is the team that we were having trouble with the other day. Windwalker, Enhanced, Holy Priest. We fought them again. These guys have been playing quite a bit. Rogue right away cheap shots off the ward, and he gets the fade cooldown from the Priest. So the Priest is pretty much free to sheep now, right? I go in to get that sheep. I do get paralyzed. I do get Blood Elf silence. The Touch of Death comes out. So much damage, and it is very unfortunate because I have to trinket Temp Shield and block, which is awful. Awful, 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 right? You either want to trinket Temp Shield or block, which is, it just sucked, kinda. But anyway, I see that they're swapping onto my Priest. I spam sheep onto the Enhanced Shaman. The sap comes out onto the Priest. Tons of damage comes out on the Enhanced Shaman. The Enhanced Shaman is forced to use his wall, and the monk is forced to trinket as well. So we have Monk's Trinket and Shaman's Wall. Very, very good overall because I still have Arcane Power. I still have Presence of Mind. I still have a ton of burst for this next go. This is very scary though. I don't have block available. I'm doing my best to kite around, blinking towards them, blinking back, blinking away again. Catch that pain suppression from my Priest. Mind Control comes out onto Rodak. This is like extreme scary time. But if we live, this next go is going to be very scary for them. And it looks like I get a small heal from that 10, but it looks like we're going to survive. I'm pushing in for the full sheep onto the Priest off of the cheap shot. Do manage to land it. Full bomb comes out onto the monk. That kidney shot. Tons of damage coming out into the bomb, but it looks like the monk is going to survive. Little unfortunate there. He is forced to use Karma. We get Shaman's Trinket and Priest Trinket there to peel for the monk. So now we have all 3 of their trinkets. Remember, Shaman has no wall, and the Priest is off sheep DR in 1 second. So this game is very winnable. Keep in mind, I can die, my Priest can die, and my Rogue can die until this next setup. So we can win this next go if we don't die. if we don't lose, we win type of a thing, right? Full kidney shot comes out on the priest. Double blink to guarantee that full sheep onto the priest. Shaman's getting very low. Remember, it's no trinket, no wall. Shaman's doing his best to kite around, double or blink back to the shaman, get that arcane missiles off, and the shaman does go down. So nice game there. We played that a little bit better. The opener was super shaky with overlapping that trinket, temp shield, and the block, but nice kiting from there. And we did do that Windwalker go, force the shaman trinket, force the priest trinket, and then one more go took out the shaman. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up with all this variety, and let me know in the comments, well, one, if I need a haircut, two, more importantly, what you guys enjoyed the most. Are you guys liking the Boomkin, the Mage, the Rogue, the Priest? Let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll make sure to upload that for you guys. Thumbs the video down if you didn't like it, talk to me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!